They said no independent could ever fight back. No ordinary American could ever build something real. But while others talked, Joseph Samuel Catalano III built 75 campaign and legislative books, ballot access systems across. They said no independent could ever fight back. No ordinary.
Thank you, my fellow Americans. I'm Joseph Samuel Catalano III, and I'm running for president as an independent, because this country doesn't belong to the parties. It belongs to us. We're going to bring jobs back, rebuild our neighborhoods. Thank you, my fellow Americans. I'm Joseph Samuel Catalano III, and I'm running for
all night long. I just want to love you, keep you safe and warm forever. You know my heart is heavy, but my love is strong. Let me hold you in my arms all night long. I just want to love you, keep you safe and warm forever. You know my heart is heavy, but my love is strong. Let me hold you in my arms all night long. I just want to love you, keep you safe and warm forever. You know my heart is heavy, but my love is strong. Let me hold you in my arms all night long. I just want to love you, keep you safe and warm.
Washington's broken, but one man is ready to fix it and get America running great again. Joseph Samuel Catalano III, business builder, community volunteer, and an independent voice who answers to you, not the parties. Safer streets, fair taxes. Washington's broken, but one man is ready to fix.
They said no independent could ever fight back. No ordinary American could ever build something real. But while others talked, Joseph Samuel Catalano III built 75 campaign and legislative books, ballot access. They said.
We'll be starting in about 2 minutes. Be right there. Good evening, America. I'm going to start off by saying hello, and hello to all Americans. God bless America. God bless each and one of you. Before I get into my speech and talk a little bit about some things I've been doing, I wanted to just say a lot of people have been asking me lately, and I'm going to answer this question the best I can. The question is, people ask me all the time, what does it actually take to become a president as an independent? First, you have to understand something. The hardest part isn't becoming president. The hardest part is getting on the ballot. And believe me, it's hard. That's where independence gets crushed. So here's the real process, step by step. Step one, build a real campaign structure. Not just social media videos. You need organization, volunteers, fundraiser systems, legal guidance, state research, media outreach, and operational discipline. Step two, study every state's ballot access law. Every state has different rules, signatures, deadlines, filing fees, petition requirements, electoral requirements, and legal procedures. Some states give independents years. Some only give them a few months. That's why preparation matters. Step three, build volunteer network, state by state. You need real people willing to circulate petitions, organize events, distribute material, and help gather signatures legally and correctly. Step four, raise enough money to survive, not luxury money, operational money, printing, travel, legal filing, websites, petition systems, media, technology, and campaign infrastructure. Step five, build public recognition. Nobody signs petitions for somebody they never heard of. That means interviews, podcasts, videos, live streams, social media, speeches, and public appearances. Step six, develop serious policies. You can't just say everything is broken. You need actual proposals, justice reform, economic policies, veteran policies, education, border policies, anti-corruption reform recovery systems, public safety, and constitutional understanding. Step seven, surround yourself with experienced people, lawyers, policy experts, election experts, communication people, former government professionals. You don't become president alone. Step eight, maintain discipline under pressure. Politics is brutal. People attack your families, your past, your intelligence, your appearance, your mistakes, and your credibility every single day. If you can't stay calm under pressure, you won't survive national politics. Step nine, actually get on the ballot. That means legally qualifying in enough states to mathematically reach 207 electoral votes. That alone is one of the hardest political tasks in America. And finally, step 10, convince the American people you understand their pain better than the establishment does. That's the real job. That's the real job. Not becoming famous, not arguing, not acting like a celebrity. The real job is earning trust. And that's what we're aiming to do. We must learn and build trust back up with the American people. Once we do that, then we can build a foundation. And I've been building every day. So I want to talk, before I get into my actual speech, I want to talk a little bit about, I don't know if anybody's heard of Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt is running for mayor of Los Angeles. He was a reality TV star who lost his mansion in the Los Angeles fires last year. It burned to the ground because the mayor, I believe her name is Ross, was in some other country, and the deputy mayor was on house arrest because he or she made a bomb threat. So there was nobody to command the fire department or the police department. And when they needed command for the helicopters to drop water on certain places, nobody was there. So Spencer decided maybe someone will step up to the plate and run, someone with conviction, someone that knows politics, someone that cares about Los Angeles. But nobody did, so he felt it was his job to do it. And he don't know nothing about politics. He tells you, I just do common sense. I'm going to win. Well, I'm going to tell you, he was 30 points behind last month. And he went viral with AI videos about campaign, just funny, crazy stuff. Now he's 30 points ahead. And the election, I believe in Los Angeles for the primary is June 4th. And he's probably going to win. Like he said, I don't talk politics because I'm not a politician. But I know how to clean up the city, and I want to make it as good as it was when I grew up here, for my children. He wants to make sure it's safe for all the women. He wants to clean up all the drugs off the street. He just said he don't want ICE there. He wants to bring his own police department. He'd like to work side by side with DEA, FBI. He says he wants to put homeless people and the addicts that are allowed on the street, they all don't belong in jail. That's what he said. Most of them need good rehabs. He's going to make sure that happens. He's going to make sure all homeless people are cleaned up. He's got a plan, but he also knows this. Once he's elected, he's going to put around himself the most powerful people that are in politics, lawyers, and they're going to work for him. And that's what happens in the White House. Your staff, they do all the work. They guide you. They protect you. And that's how you learn government. I may not know government fully, but nobody gets out of bed every day like I do to put in the work that I've been putting in. I've been on for 3 weeks for a reason. Now, yesterday somebody challenged me to say that it's already in effect, the Anti-Corruption Act. No, I put my comment up there. No, there's been many talks and many words used, but nothing like what I built. And I tell you what, I built a strong, strong, strong book. And if I get elected, I sign this, and I'm going to get into Congress so they can vote, and we can make this reality. It's 170 pages, and it's very detailed. So now let me talk a little bit about Spencer. Now, before I go into the Anti-Corruption Act, I wanted to say something about Spencer Pratt. A lot of people in media mock Spencer Pratt for years. Reality TV, internet jokes, memes, mimes. People dismissed him. But what I respect is that the man kept fighting. He kept adapting. He kept rebuilding himself. And after what happened with the fire and seeing people lose homes, lose memories, lose stability, it reminds you something important. America is full of people trying to rebuild their lives while the political class argues on television. Regular people suffer, families suffer, communities suffer. And sometimes the people that the media laugh at turn out to be the stronger than everybody expected. I understand that feeling. A lot of people laugh at outsiders. A lot of people laugh at independent voices. A lot of people laugh at people before they even understand their story. But resilience matters. The ability to get back up matters. And whether people agree with Spencer Pratt or not, I respect fighters. I respect people that keep going when the world counts them out. Because that spirit, that fighting spirit, is what America used to respect. Then smoothly transition and speaking, accountability, and rebuild America. Let's now get into the Anti-Corruption Act. So let me take a moment here. Again, good evening. My name is Joseph Samuel Catalano III, and I am an independent candidate for President of the United States. Tonight is not about political theater. It's not about rehearsal, talking points. It's not about polished fake personalities. Tonight is about the American people. For too long, ordinary Americans have watched corruption grow, trust disappear, family struggles, addiction destroyed communities, trafficking destroyed lives, and politicians gave the same speech while nothing changed. I'm not a career politician, and I'm not going to sit here and say everything's broken. I'm not backed by corporate machines. I'm not backed by political dynasties. I'm an American who believes honesty and integrity can still matter in this country. Over the last several years, I've been building policy framework, focusing on anti-corruption, reform, survivor recovery, public accountability, protecting women and children, workforce restoration, and rebuilding trust between government and the people. Tonight, I want to discuss the Catalano Anti-Corruption Act and why restoring accountability may be the single most important issue facing the future of the United States. Because if the people lose trust in the system completely, this country itself begins to fracture, and I believe the American people are tired of being ignored. They want leadership that listens. Two parties have shut out all Americans. They built it around themselves to protect themselves and their rich friends. Leadership that understands real life outside political bubbles, that wants tonight, that's what tonight is about. So I'm going to read a little bit of my Corruption Act. I'm not staying on. I'm not going to drag this out. I'm not going to repeat myself. You know, I'm trying to do everything the proper way. This is, excuse me, let me get, I have, in 3 books I have this. Okay, this is section 1, very first page. It's congressional inside trader reform. We have a big problem with this. Any one of us, myself, any of you in the chat room, any people, any American people, normal people, if they get caught inside trading, you go to prison. That's a fact. But Congress, it's okay for them to break the law, and they become millionaires instantly with all this knowledge. So, Section 1, Congressional Inside Trader Reform. Why this reform matters. For many Americans, trust in government has not disappeared overnight. It has disappeared slowly over decades. Familiar work, longer hours. Veterans struggle to receive timely care. Young people drown in debt, and ordinary citizens watch prices rise while confidence in public institutions continue to fall. At the same time, many election officials enter official office appearing financially ordinary and leave office with extraordinary wealth, investment growth, power corporate relationships, and access unavailable to the people that were elected to represent. Whether legal or illegal, the perception along has become deeply damaged to public trust. Millions of Americans now believe that members of Congress and powerful federal officials operate under a different set of rules than the citizens who sent them to Washington. I mean, I agree with that statement 100%. That's why I put it in there, because government, for the last 50 years, it's been the same empty promises. They don't do nothing. They build laws, and they pretend like they're gonna have prison reform or they're gonna have veteran reform, but they don't. They don't. They start something, but when they start something that seems to be good, 10 other things fall apart. We got plenty of money in all the budgets, so we don't have to raise taxes. We don't have to hurt people. They're just spending the money wrongly, and the people that are corrupt, well, we know what they're doing. Now, I know a lot of people, you know, like I said, I read the most common question to me is, you know, what makes me think that I could be president? You know, I get called all kinds of names. But I know I get up every day. I've been knocked down every day. I get up every day, and I'm fighting. And I don't care. I'm in this for the good of the country. And I'll do what I see fit to get to the top. And all I know is, like I said, it's going to take a team. I need to build volunteers in each state. Do you realize California gives a 2-month window to get 155,000 signatures from May 15th to July 15th of 2028, 60-day window. If I don't have 100 to 200 volunteers in place, and I'll show you, 1 second. I have built, for Florida, because Florida is my main objective right now, because this is where I live, to get Florida is 145,000. You know, Florida gives you 30 electoral votes. California gives you 54 electoral votes. Texas gives you 40 electoral votes. Those three states are the key. Pennsylvania is a key state. Michigan's a key state. Illinois, key state. But Florida, Texas, and California are the bread and butter of the electoral votes. Because between the three of them, you have 54, 30 from Florida, and 40, that's 124. And you only need 270 to win. So you get those three states, you got 124 electoral votes, and you're only 146 away. And usually people that win those three states, if they win them, that's usually going to be the next president. You can lose one of those and still be in the race. You lose two of them, got no shot. But like I said, the hardest part is building the signatures. It's not running. It's just, I put these packets together. I have 100 for Florida. I have to get these out of your volunteer packets that I'm gonna, when I get volunteers, and it's all detailed with instruction sheets, you know, the rules of Florida, what they can and can't do, how they have to do it, how the ballots have to be signed. They got to make sure that they're registered voters. They just can't go to anybody and say, could you sign this, because that's not going to work, because they're going to check it. When you turn all these in, they check it. They check each one to make sure it's registered and valid. Every state does that, and every state does have different rules. There's one state, I believe it's New Jersey, I think it's New Jersey if I'm correct, give you a 30-day window, but you only need like 2,500 signatures in New Jersey. So that, you know, that's a big difference from 154,000. So I just wanted to point that out. We need volunteers. And again, we're not trying to do anything but survive this campaign. And we need key operating things. So if you're serious and you want to come on board and you want to be a volunteer, or you want to be a donor, you know, raisethemoney.com, Joseph Samuel Catalano. $5, $2, $3. Put it in the account, because it's going to be well spent and documented on the things we need for travel, for print. I've got a really good command center. The best option for me, since I'm Grassroots, I went on the HP monthly plan where you get 1,500 pages a month for a certain amount. So I got 2 printers delivered, and you know, I lease the printers, and it's $100 a month for both printers, and I get 3,000 prints a month. That's just one area I got, because if I go to a printer, or if I go to one of the outlets that print for you, it gets very expensive. And I have took on all the printing responsibilities. I do all the letterheads. That's the letterheads, my own letterheads, and parchment paper. We have the bumper stickers done. We have many things done. My bumper stickers are here somewhere. So you come aboard, you can put one of these on. I think I did a good job. The first print was really good. And it's not that hard once you learn it. Let me continue reading. The issue is larger than money alone. The deeper issue is confidence. Citizens should never have to question whether decisions involving war, energy, banking, healthcare, pharmaceutical, defense contracts, technology, agriculture, or national emergencies are being influenced by personal financial gain inside the halls of government. Public office was never intended to function as a pathway to inside advantages. It was intended to be a position of public trust and national responsibility. I mean, we're all adults, and a lot of us do see this. They blocked us. We have no voice in America. And the biggest hurdle is going to be to build trust with the American people. Once you build trust with the American people, and they know, you know, Bill Clinton ran his campaign, and his big topic was he really felt their pain. Did he really feel their pain? I don't think he's ever been to prison. I don't ever think he was an addict. I don't think he was anything that could really relate to the average American people. And that's what the people are looking for. You could see for yourself, you could believe it or not. Right now, this country, for an independent who's never had any chance, if he speaks the right message to the American people, and those people feel that he is speaking everything they wanted to hear, you're going to have an independent that's going to win. And I don't know. All I know is I'm in for the running, and I'll take my chances. And if it's me, I promise all Americans, you will see the best version of Joseph Samuel Catalano III that anybody has ever seen in my entire life. I rebuilt my whole core of my life. I mean, I had to do a lot of things, and I got to rebuild every day. I got to, you know, I made my mistakes of not learning a lot of things I should have learned when I was younger. But that's okay, because it's never too late. The main thing is I get up every day and I really put the effort in. I could say between running around and getting signatures and meeting people and learning, before I know it, I got 18 hours in every day. And we're starting to make some noise, and we're starting to get things done. It's starting to shape up really good, and I'm still doing this all by myself. So, you know, I think I'm progressing the way that I'm supposed to, and all I could see is hopefully someday everybody can believe in me, and you'll see the same thing. The Catalano Anti-Corruption Act recognizes the Americans cannot rebuild institutional trust unless citizens believe their elected officials are operating under transparent and fair ethical standards. I mean, it speaks for itself. I would say that speaks for itself. It's 100% true, and that's what American people are looking for. I mean, the traditional politician is done. I don't know if you've seen lately with Trump, the latest thing with Trump, something about $128 billion that he got it passed. And I read an article that said this is going to be the worst injustice done to America, in the worst ever in American history, what he is pulling off right now. I don't know what happened to the man, but I do give him credit for one thing. No one ever, president, had any fight to take on Iran, and we all know Iran hates the United States, and he's doing that. So, but he's kind of, you know, he's doing one great thing, and he's just the Epstein file. I mean, all those documents should have been out. I don't even know if they're even existing anymore. You know, who's going to know unless you're in that office to see if they were destroyed or hidden, or nobody's going to know. The American people will never know unless we get someone in there honestly, and if they are existing, they'll bring them out so everybody can see, because I know the American people all want to know the truth, and so do I. The problem, current federal ethic laws contain loopholes, delays reporting systems, weak enforcement mechanisms, and broad areas of legal and guilt. I don't even know, the word is tough for me, that allows elected officials to continue participating in financial activities that many ordinary Americans view as conflict of interest. Even when no criminal conduct occurs, the appearance of self-enrichment damages the legitimacy of democratic institutions. That's a fact. Members of Congress routinely receive classified briefings, confidential economic forecasts, regulatory information, and advanced knowledge regarding legislation that can dramatically impact industries and financial markets. While rules exist regarding misuse of non-public information, enforcement has historically been inconsistent, difficult to prove, and often politically continuous. The result is a system where public suspicion continues to grow regardless of whether wrongdoing can be legally proven in individual cases. Over time, their perception weakens. Civil trust fuels political extremists, discourage public participation, and convince many Americans the system is fundamentally designed for inside rather than ordinary citizens. It's a proven fact, just like the slush fund that they have, that, you know what, they're using our taxpayer dollars. Let me tell you something. This is our country. Not that it doesn't belong to the True Party. It belongs to each and every one of you. This is our country, mine, yours, your families, not the Two Party. And that's what we have to all get together, and we have to shut them down. And this is the opportunity now. I think I see two things happening in this election. It's either going to be a strong independent, or you're going to have your first female president if they get the right candidate in there. And that's a fact. And I don't know if this country is ready for a female, but you never know. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that if it happens, I don't know if the American people will be ready for that yet. I think A female could be just as good as a president as a male. And we have a lot of strong women in this world. So, the reform proposal. Under the Catalano Anti-Corruption Act, members of Congress, senior executive branch officials, cabinet-level leaderships, and immediate household family members would be prohibited from actively trading individual stocks while serving in federal office. I mean, here's a perfect example. When they pick a commissioner of baseball, it's usually one of the owners, one of the owners of the baseball teams. But they have to remove themselves from the ownership of the team if they're going to be commissioner, if they take the position. It's a conflict of interest. They have to. So that's just, this applies to the same rule. If you're in public office and power, you should not be privileged. It's a law says we can't do it. You go to jail. So why is this happening? Why is we allowing this to happen as American citizens? Do you realize the strength we have if we unite as one? And I know a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people. And let me tell you something. I was shocked at how many young people between the age of 27 to 35 are not even going to vote for anybody unless they see the strong independent, someone that's on the same page, at least talking the language that they want to see. And the other thing, of course, we know AI is coming through, and it's going to come like a gangbuster, and it's here, and it's going to stay. So we got to start thinking of that. People, in the next 5 or 6 years, they predict 50% of people will lose their homes and be homeless because the rents are still too damn high. The mortgages are still too damn high. There's no relief. If we don't do something now, it could be you, one of yous. It could be your family. It could be your children coming up. It could be your parents. In 5 years, homeless is going to be doubled or tripled in 5 years. Crime's going to go up then. It's going to be through the roof. People are going to be going crazy when they lose jobs because they're replaced by AI. We have to come up with something. We have to at least try. And that's why the American people must be able to be heard every day. So the people they put in power can carry out these things and put America back to where it's meant to be. And I'm not saying I'm the answer, but I'm saying that I care enough to get up and try every day. I love my country. I'm born here. This is one of the greatest places you could ever be. God bless America, because it is the greatest country. We're the most powerful country. We're the best military. And it's shameful to just keep allowing this. And when people just give up and they just say, there's nothing you could do, which is like what many of you people tell me, what are you going to do? You know nothing. You can't do nothing. That's bull. I can do a lot of damage. I could fight them. I could try every day to go in and fight them and get them removed and just keep pushing and pushing. That's what leadership is about. Someone that's willing to get up and fight and stand for what they believe in and what the American people believe in. And I tell you one, I feel blessed every day to know I'm an American citizen. And the greatest part is, with all the mistakes people make on a daily basis, you get punished, you do your time, but you do have room to come back and be a good human being. And a lot of people want to be that. That's why it's important about prison reform, because what they have in place is not working. And I could sit here, and I'm sure between now and 2028, we'll get into some of the other bills that, every president, the last 5 presidents have done something for prison reform. The last one was President Trump when he did the First Step Act during the pandemic. Okay, it started out to be a good program, but they never carried it through properly, because not everybody should be slated to be in prison for the rest of their life. Not everybody is a person that's going to get life. People make mistakes and people get punished. There's a lot of good people that want to erase their mistakes and they want to get better and get back to their families, and they want help. If we do the right thing, we make them productive citizens again. And that's including myself. I work on myself every day to be a productive citizen, you know? And that's what it's about. You know, it's about realizing you gotta help people. You gotta fight for what you believe in, but you can't be selfish. You have to help people that can't help themselves. You have to. I think that it's our duty to do that. I think there's a lot of cruelty because we allow it to happen. I think a lot of things could be fixed if the American people stick together. Just think of unity and everybody being on the same page. Don't you think this would be a great place to live and you be part of that? I know a lot of people are starving to hear their voice again, and they don't let us, they don't hear us. So the purpose of this reform is not to punish wealth, success, or investments itself. The purpose is to establish a visible separation between public decision-making and personal financial opportunities while serving in position of national authority. This reform is intended to restore confidence that federal policies decisions are being made based on the long-term interests of the American people rather than the short-term financially. How the reform would work. All covered federal officials would be required to submit comprehensive annual financial disclosure reports through a standardized public transparency system. Assets transfer into blind trust or approved diversified structure would be completely within a defined compliance period after assuming office. And this is just one of many things that we have to fix. We got healthcare problems. We got people abusing the food stamp program. I mean, they're trying to work on that and get rid of all the bad apples that are taking food stamps that shouldn't be, but they're not. I don't think they're making it a concern, because if they can. But look what happened with Doge, with the Social Security? How many people were still getting checks that had been dead for years? That's a lot of money when they finally. I mean, it went into the billions when they recovered how many checks someone else was cashing. That's a problem, and that's why you get penalized. Why we get penalized. Why the American people always take the hit. You know, the tariffs. From what I understand, they're already back to all the companies he took them from. Yet the gas and groceries are still way too high. They're making the average person suffer. We will never be able to catch up at these rates, and everything's going up rapidly. The more it goes up, the worse it's going to get. And I know this, I'm going to be there to pick up my neighbor, my brother, my sister. And I hope you guys will be there with me to do it. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to trust me until I earn that trust. And I will do that. I can't be foolish no more. I can't make this is not about me for anything. It's about what I believe in, what I listen to every day, when I listen to the news or listen how some of the American people are treated. I mean, just alone on the human trafficking, without a doubt, this is how strong I feel about it, that we know where every kid is and every woman is that's been taken and abused and sold for sex trafficking or work trafficking. The biggest one is sex trafficking, but they have a lot of work trafficking where they put people as slaves and work and, you know, do things for whatever they're doing, whether it's drugs or whatever they're doing illegally. But I think we know where everything's at. Why don't we act on it? You know, as cruel as you try not to be, and nobody wants war. I don't. I want to keep peace. But war sometimes is necessary. You have to. If enemies are coming to hurt you, and they're hurting us every time they steal a child, every time they take someone's wife or someone's daughter, we feel pain, real pain. So all I can say, if there's anybody with any knowledge like that, I hope you guys are going to go take that to the authorities, because you never know. You could be walking with someone that's a friend of yours for years, and he could have the knowledge because, you know, he has somebody that is in that bracket, and that's pretty bad if he doesn't go step up to the plate. I think it's vitally important that everybody does their part. Nothing's free in this world, and I've learned that my mistakes have done one thing positive for me. It's made me learn how to get back up and put one foot forward each step at a time to learn. And that's my intention. My intention is to get better, to be a better human being, to be kinder to people, and to help people. And I think if you end your life with those things, those qualities, your soul will be redeemed. I believe that very strongly. Okay, so let me read a little bit more of this. Violation involving concealment, proxy trading arrangements, fraudulent disclosure, or intentional misuse of privileged information would carry substantial civil and criminal penalties. We must call them out. They are not above the law. And we have allowed it because people, I hear all the, there's nothing nobody could do. You can't beat the rich, but yes, you can. You could do anything you put your mind to. Just because someone's got more money and got power doesn't mean that you have to crumble and go hide. It means that you got to fight harder. You got to fight harder to protect what's yours. How many people, let's say farmers for example, have worked their life with blood and sweat farming and got behind because the crops, because the storm came and destroyed crops, and they didn't get fully paid because there was a lot of damaged crops. And now they're behind on the land. You think the government cares and helps them? They take it from them and they lose their family history. And then someone in their family becomes a psycho bomber and he goes out and he bombs buildings because his family was taken by the government because they got behind on their payments. I talked about a couple weeks ago about people that are caught up with their mortgage are still losing their homes because of the, I'm going to miss my point here. I can't think of the housing authority that they pay the monthly dues to. They're taking people to court and taking their homes away from them. And that's just not right at all. You know, deeded communities. We have a lot of non-deeded communities in Florida. But I mean, if you're paying your mortgage, how does a judge justify? Well, you owe $300 a month. You haven't paid for 6 months. We're gonna take your house. I mean, that should not even be considered. There's a lot of things we can do, put in place to make it better. There's a lot of ways the money that they have in budgets that are just not being directed the right way. And obviously, corruption is here. It always has been. And corruption is always going to be here. But we have to minimize it. We have to. It's like, do you believe that if we really wanted to, we could keep the drugs out of our country? I think we can. I think we really can. I don't think they want to. Because as far as from what I'm seeing, the government really don't care about each of us. You're born with a Social Security number, you die with a number. They don't know your name is John Paul or Jackie or Pete or Joseph or Dave or Laura. That's not what's your number? They don't care. And they sit home with all their money and enjoy their holidays while innocent kids who didn't ask to be brought in this world because they got some screwed up parents that just was irresponsible. They shouldn't be taking out on the kids. It's not the kids' fault. They didn't ask to be here. When they're here, they're little. They don't understand a lot of things, and we're supposed to protect that. I know that I would protect any child. That's one thing I wouldn't. If I saw a stranger abusing a child, I would give my own life to protect that child. I would. I wouldn't hesitate. I would do what I have to do. I wouldn't think about I'm possibly getting involved in something that could kill me. I wouldn't, because that's how you don't brag about things you do. Heroes are the ones that are silent, that do noble stuff like that. And that's what most people should want to be remembered as a good person. And I got a lot of work to work on myself, a lot of apologies to a lot of people. But I'll stand tall, and I'll stand proud, and I'll look people square in the eye, and I'll shake their hand. Each and every one of you, any person that is a U.S. citizen that I come in contact with. And I'll be 100% transparent, and they could ask me anything. And I won't hold nothing back. I won't, because they need to know the truth. They need to know everything about me. Because if I'm asking the American people to sign a petition to get me on a ballot, and then go and ask them, vote for me, this is what I want to try, this is what I want to do, this is how hard I want to work for you, this is what I think needs to be fixed. And I want to hear your voice. I want to know what your opinions are. I want to know, let's get together. Let's fight this all. Let's fix, and you can't fix anything like that. It's going to be one step at a time to fix as much as you can. And like You know, you're not always going to have agreement with Congress or the Senate. You know, you got to work hard. You just can't give up. But if we work together in harmony, anything is possible, anything. To protect due process, prevent political weaponization, and in all investigations we require document, evidence, standard, independent review procedures, and publicly reportable findings were legally appropriated. Why Americans should support the reform? Americans do not expect the elected officials to be perfect. They do expect fairness. We don't expect anybody to be perfect, because no human being can be perfect. That's a very powerful statement. But we do expect fairness and honesty. This reform is designed to send a clear national message that public office should never provide financial advantages unavailable to the citizens who fund and sustain the government itself. Rebuilding trust requires visible accountability, consistent ethical standards, and systems that reduce opportunities for abuse before abuse occurs. Working families should not feel that they are competing against the political class operating with privileged access and different rules. Veterans returning home from service should not feel abandoned by institutions that appear more responsive to financial markets than to the people who sacrifice for this country. We see it every day. There should be no homeless vets at all. There shouldn't be homeless people at all. We've given so much money to other countries. Why would we do that and not fix our own country? Why? Why can't we just be? It's not even about being smart, it's about common sense. We look weak. We look more weak to other countries than the government really realizes when we leave our own people and our own soldiers in the street. It's a weakened position, and it just straightens them. Because when you know your enemy's weaknesses, it's easier to maneuver. It always is. When you know your enemies, all their weaknesses and their mistakes, it's very easy to get power over them. And you know what? Even though we're the most greatest country, the most powerful country, we got a couple countries out there that, you know, we need to be careful with. Peace is the best thing and the first and foremost thing we could have. I agree with that. But I think this world is in for a big change. And unfortunately, it might be bad enough where this country might have to go to World War III. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying that when I'm seeing the direction they're going in, it's not looking good. They say Trump, J.D. Vance, if he had a chance to be president, the next president, Trump dropped 37% of his people that were with him, lost 37% in the last month, which has destroyed J.D. Vance's chance of ever winning, because he's with Trump, so nobody's going to trust him. And from what I understand, he's not a very trustworthy guy anyhow. So, you know, maybe he just finish out his vice presidency and go home. I think that might be his best choice. And Newsom, he's a psycho. This guy in California, the California governor, that's like electing the devil. So, I mean, Kennedy dropped out already. I think there's 438 candidates between independents, Republicans, Democrats, right now that are registered. Half of those people won't even have done anything close to what I've done. They're just registered and they're sitting home and I don't know, whatever reason they registered for, I don't know. Some people already dropped out, like Kennedy he already dropped out. I think J.D. Vance might have to drop out because Trump has destroyed any chance he's got. So what do we got? We got the chances now for a strong independent, as long as he could speak to the American people and they hear what they want to hear and believe in that what he's saying, and he does it with conviction and looking in the eye with transparency, honesty, integrity. I'm telling you right now, this is the chance right now. This window's not going to be here forever. But I'm telling you, if you watch the news around the United States, you'll see that they're leaning towards who do we have that's a strong independent? Because it's weakening with the Democrats and Republicans. It's looking bad. So now they're talking about who's going to be the strongest independent. Because a strong independent is going to blow everybody out the water. And that's a fact. Look at the facts before you, and you'll see that. And I just hope that it's going to be me. All right. Let me read a couple. Let's finish up section 1, and then we're going to wrap things up because I just wanted to. I also have that I'll be talking in a couple days. I haven't, and probably next week. Let me see. Yeah, right here. This is a thing that I think is very important, and we talked a little bit about it just now, but the American Survivor Recovery and Human Trafficking Deterrence Act of 2029. This is very strong. I just finished this today. There's a lot of stuff in here. Like I said, I believe that our intelligence knows where a lot of these traffickers are, and you know what? I think we need to go down in the ground, wherever they're underneath, whatever city they're under hiding, or keeping our children that they took and their women, because there's a lot of underground cities in a lot of these cities. Do you know there's 18 cities with underground tunnels, and some of them got restaurants and old subways that they turned into shops? There's 18, I believe, 18 in the United States that people don't even know that there's another city underneath the city. And from what I understand, in New York, the intel says that they're deep in the ground underneath the human traffickers, and there was a guy that came on. He defected from them, and he was, that's when they put him on the TV, and he changes the voice and covers his eyes and his face, and he's telling details. Well, he was pretty detailed that they're right underneath everybody's nose, and they have and will continue to kill the children and the women if they don't do what they're told. And that's a shame that we can probably go in and save a lot of them. And that's one of the things we're going to have to do right away. And I say, we go down, we get our military, we have the best military, we go down, and we go down there, and we just make it, and we get down there, and we find them, and we take them. And if that means they fire upon us, we don't leave no survivors. We take the people that we need to save, and that's what we do. The enemy we take down. We don't let them survive to go waste taxpayers' money by giving them a trial because of due process in America. They don't deserve that trial for what they've done. So the best action is, let's hope they get stupid if we finally go down with the intel we have to go after and rescue the women and children. And I hope let's hope they want to get really feisty with our military, because then we can do what we have to do legally, and then we'll save a lot of problems and also save a lot of people. That's the most important thing, is that women and children feel safe in this country. And women don't feel safe in this country right now. A lot of them don't. And you want to know something? Women vote. Women vote. You got to be women. I came on since I've been registered, and I'm probably the biggest laughing stock. But I just don't care. I'm just going to keep getting better and better and learn more. And then my biggest thing is I realize that women are a key vote to this whole thing. And and if they know they got someone who's going to fight for them to be safe and their children to be safe, that could go a long way when it comes to the voting process. So I've learned now that my worst enemy is my mouth. When I open my mouth to argue with somebody, it's over. I just make myself I bury myself each time I do that. I have to be smart. I can't get baited. And a leader can't get angry. You can't make decisions when you're angry. I mean, that's common sense. Everybody knows that. I mean, doing an internet show and going spazzed out and crazy and just, you're so spazzed out your guts are hanging out. That's different than being a leader, because you can't make those type of mistakes or be doing stupid stuff like that, because if you get nuts over the small thing, there's nobody going to trust you to do the right thing. And I'm just glad that I realized that I already had all this in me, and I know how life is supposed to be and how you're supposed to act. It's just that I'm saddened at myself, how I let myself get to be to where I just felt it was okay the way that I lived my life. Somebody pointed out to me, I talked to about 9 months ago. They said, do you really believe that because you say that your children never knew you were an addict, and you want to believe you never carried that home, whether you did drugs at home? And I said, yeah, I really believe that. They never seen me doing it. And you don't think that they felt anything? You think you were operating normally? And I said, I was functional. I worked every day. he says, but there's no way you could have made any right decision being high. So you cost your family, even though they didn't physically see, you did a lot of damage. And I didn't believe that. I did not believe that. I felt, no, I didn't. I kept it away from my kids. I'd never seen it. And he's looking at, you really believe that, don't you? And I did. And I was wrong. No matter, just because I didn't do it around my children. Yes, at some point, there's no way I could have been in the right frame of mind that I made some bad choices, and that affected them. So for that, I deserve to be punished for that. And I'm glad that anytime I got caught with anything I did that was wrong, that I got punished, because you deserve that. And I owe a lot of people a lot of gratitude, the ones that stepped up and helped me. And I even got gratitude for the people that hate me, because you also taught me things. And I learned a lot from the people that I speak to in YouTube. A lot of you people are very educated. A lot of you people have done some horrendous things and said horrendous things about me, but I learned a lot from each and every one of you. I really have. I don't ever think that I take any of you for granted, because you've all been a part of my life for the last 2.5 years. And so I'll always carry that all the way to my death, that there's a piece of you that I carry, that some point you helped me. Believe it or not, you did. When you think I think you hurt me. And I think that most of the people are very decent human beings. And again, I hope that I can show you that I can be a good person and you can believe more in me. All I'll do is keep trying. I can't make you like me. I can't make you trust me. But I promise you I'll try every day. I really will. That's the best I can offer, is that I will give effort every day. And people can repent and become a good person. Okay, the last thing I'm going to read. The health of the republic depends not only on laws, elections, and institutions, but on whether the people continue believing those institutions still belong to them. And that's fact. This is a very important act. And we'll go over some more of it in the next time I'm on. I just don't want nobody to think that I'm not putting in an effort, because I am. You know, I got a couple quick sayings that I think are good for me to make this part of my life. Americans deserve leadership built on honesty and real-world experience. I'm not funded by political machines, and that's a good thing. I work for ordinary Americans, not lobbyists. Protecting women and children is not negotiable. Addiction victims need recovery. Traffickers need prison. Fact. The American people are tired of scripted politicians. I'm building policy first, political second. Corruption destroys public trust, hands down. All corruption destroys trust. Independent voices deserve ballot access too. I believe accountability applies to everybody equally. Families deserve safe communities again. Government should serve citizens, not insiders. We need stronger recovery systems, not endless failures. I'm proving my seriousness through work, not slogan. I'm not pretending to know everything. I'm willing to learn. I surrounded myself with experienced professionals, the systems to protect survivors, not abandon them. Americans are exhausted by division and corruption. I'm not a career politician. I'm an American citizen stepping forward. Honesty and integrity can still win the White House by fixing the root of the problem. Most people talk. I'm building. And those are 20 campaign slogans that I will live and honor every day. I want to thank everybody. Like I said, if you feel that you want to be a volunteer, you want to be serious, I could really use the help in a lot of states, especially California, because there's a lot of groundwork, and I'm, you know, it's hard by myself, but I'm doing it. I'm not going to stop because, you know, people don't want to believe in me or help me, but eventually it will. Eventually it will. When when people, more and more people that see these talks and what I'm doing, and the American people say, man, that's exactly what I was saying to my family. This guy is exactly what we need. And then things will happen. Things are happening now. I'm in a good place, and I'm in a good place of where I'm building and where the knowledge is getting out to the right people. We're getting talked about more and more, and people are recognizing me more and more. And like I said, I'm in this because I'm an American citizen like you, and I'm tired of corruption. I'm tired of empty promises, and I'm tired of nobody stepping up and giving up. Just don't give up. Don't give up. You know, when I was at my worst with people on the internet, I had a lot of good people that came and goes, don't let them beat you, man. You are a good person. You could see that, you know. And what I didn't listen to nobody. I mean, I let people get in my head, and I sat here and I talked to myself. I talked in the mirror and say, why do I do this? I don't know. I just don't know. But you know what I said? I'm going to fix it. That's what we have to do. And that's it. There's no complaining. I can't fix everything, but I will try 110% every day to be the right person for this country and help every American citizen I can. So again, if you want to contribute, you know, we're not looking for major donations. We're just a grassroots. Anything into the campaign fund is going to go duly on strictly to campaign. It's not to do any luxury parties or travel, because you can't. One, you do that, you're going to be in some serious trouble. And they don't play with election funds. Trust me when I tell you. You got to be on the up and up. And, you know, frankly, I'm tired of being anything but my best. I've cheated myself because of my own misery out of a lot of life opportunities. I have. I don't blame nobody but myself. I did it to myself. But it's not too late. So join me. And now I will see if you did send anything here. I'll read it, and then I'm going to go. I thank you for being here. I hope I didn't bore you too much. I hope that you understood my message. I know that my delivery was a lot better than, and you know, I'm getting better at reading more fluently. And in 5 days, my daughter comes home, and it's a big event coming up in 5 days. I can't believe she's down to 5 days. It's a wonderful thing, really is. Okay, are you? Okay, I don't know why this. Okay, why can't I get into here? Okay, there we go. All right. All right, well, we got, I can't, can you guys see that? It says, never, Torito Wavy, $2. Never, new fan here, use this as a campaign fund. Well, I'll have to report it, thank you. But if you want to really help, and I appreciate that comment, thank you very much. I really appreciate that, thank you. I know I've had words with you over the past, and in Shuli's chat room many times, and you know, I don't mean nothing by anything. I heard you were a stand-up guy for many people, and if you want to help, please raise the money. Raise the money. I think I could put the banner across real quick. I think I have it here. It really, I'd rather it go there, because like I said, I got to pay for simple printing and travel for gas to go to Georgia, or you know, when it gets time to and get, you know, and meet with volunteers and just traveling through Florida. You know, there's 67 counties in Florida. I don't have to go to all 67 counties, but if I do get signatures in different counties, I have to turn it into that county. I can't take any county and bring it to Hillsborough because I live in Hillsborough. But there's enough people sustained in Hillsborough, there's 1.5 million people here, that I can get the 145,000 just by being in my home county. That's okay. I could get enough to get on the signature, but I'm going to need the whole state for the vote. So probably a good idea for me is to get signatures and get to know people in other counties. I think because here's the thing that I worry about. I spent all this time getting signatures, and like I said, Florida is the key, because Florida, you know, as much as I rag on this state and what they do here and how Florida is way different than most states, they're the only state that gave me almost 3 full years to get signatures. They give it to all the independents. They're pretty friendly about that. Once they accept the paperwork and they send you back the certification, you can start getting, and that's beautiful. I called so many states. I call states every day just to see if I could maybe talk to the same person a couple of times, and maybe I'll get a little rapport with them, and they'll at least send me what their petition list looks like. They won't even do that. When they come out, then you can get the packet. And some of them are nasty to you. They're like, and you better learn the rules of our state, because if you make any mistakes, it's on you. I mean, but some people are really thorough. The guy in Nevada was very thorough. But there's a lot of small. I was shocked. Matter of fact, I got that list real quick here. What did I do with that list? Hang on. I mean, I was blown away at how small that window is, man. It blew me away. Let me see if I have it here. Hang on one second. Let me see. What I had it here. Oh, here it is. I mean, this is the all 50 states, the electoral process, and what each state requires and what you get for electoral votes. Obviously, Florida, like I said, you get 145,000 signatures, and you get pretty much, they let you go about almost 3 years up until the election. Now, you got to have it in by July of 2028, and I was able to start collecting in August of last year. So that's what, August of 25 to August of 26, August of 27, and then July of 28. So just shy of 3 years. That's pretty good. Georgia gives you 16 electoral votes, 27,000 for Georgia. Tennessee is by far the easiest. You get 11 electoral votes. That's a pretty good number. It's double digit. You need 275 signatures in Florida. You should be able to do that real easy. I know Dr. Steve said send them to 300 when I get the petitions, and he'll make sure that he's got 300 people that are voters, and he'll get that Tennessee for me. So I know for sure I got Tennessee. That was a nice offer, Dr. Steve. He volunteered to get them. He said, just send me the material, and I'll have the signatures, and or I could go, I'll just have him go, if he'll do it, when he gets them, turn them in, so they can count it, and I could get on the ballot. That was very nice of him. I'm going to have to take him to dinner. He's always been so kind to me. Kentucky, 5,000, but you get 8 electoral votes. Still important. Indiana, 11, 36,000. Illinois, 19 electoral votes. It's a big state. Illinois is a big state. My home state, 25,000. But this could change now. This could change a higher or lower, but not by a big margin. Most of it's pretty accurate. Ohio, a key state, 17 electoral votes, only 5,000. I got people in Ohio that are going to get me signatures. I got a couple politicians up there that have been politicians for better than 16 years that are changing up there with a lot of independents, and they like the Prison Reform Act, and they like the Veterans Act. They were very interested. They approached me, so they're going to be helping me up there. Matter of fact, they may be in the chat room anonymously watching tonight, because I did send out a message I was going to be speaking tonight. And if they're here, thank you for being here. I told them that they don't have to let out who they are, because they might get a warm welcome for some of the people in the Dabbleverse. So, and it's probably best to just, if you want to hear what I'm speaking on tonight, probably to come incognito. That's the best advice I can give them. But I appreciate the help they've been giving me. I really appreciate all the help that I've been slowly getting. But once somebody asked me a question, does your wife really think that you're serious about this? Does your children? They do. They do. My wife believes in me. And matter of fact, she started getting involved with it. And once she goes full time to help me with this, it's going to make your life a lot easier. My sons, they believe in me. I send them. I show them my work daily, what we put into this. My one son he's just so excited for me that I've got my purpose back in life, and I'm doing something that I want to do that's going to help people. And he says, as long as you're happy, Pop, and you do that, and because I'm fully supporting. My daughter that's coming home Friday, she's very excited. So if I can get my family fully involved, it's going to be a big plus for me. And I can't force them. They have to make their own decisions. They're all adults. But if I show them the hard work, and they show that my point of views, and they agree with it, and they see that a lot of this could help, and they believe in it. I want to believe in what the cause is. I mean, I want them to believe in me, of course, but I'd rather them believe in what we're working for, first and foremost. I mean, they got their own lives, they got their jobs, their families, but if they could, if they want to come and help me with anything, any type of help, I told them would be grateful. And otherwise, they know I'm a fighter. I'm not going to stop because I'm by myself. I won't. Even if I know the task is nearly could kill you. This is a tough thing. You think to get to be the president's tough? Oh, no. This two-party made it so difficult in this country for an independent. And you know why? And I think about it. I think they did it because, one, you got no obligation to anybody except the American people. You're not obligated to the rich. You're not obligated to the CEOs or the companies. You're fighting for the American people, the real American people, not the corporate world. They don't own you. And I think that the reason they shut down the independent, because there's been so many strong independents over the years that would have just took over, but they blocked them from doing that. They make it impossible. It is really, if you think about this list, if you don't have a full staff and the proper money, because you want to know what they say that the average budget is to run a presidency from beginning to end, do you have any idea what it is? Minimum $14 million, minimum. And that's a fact. And the most rich people that ran as independents threw the towel in and had the money to do it. But they didn't believe enough of themselves. I feel they didn't. If you're going to do something, you're going to start doing it, you're already in millions into it. Why won't you go all the way? Why do you give up on yourself? Or why did you even start it in the first place if you knew you were going to just fizz out? I don't believe in quitting. I just don't believe in it. Whether it's going to be the most impossible climb of my life, I don't believe in quitting. I got to give 100% every day, and I'm going to do that. And you know something? Miracles happen every day. But if you stay true to this, and you get the American people behind you, it's over. Because they're the ones that put it in the President of the United States, the American people. And we know for sure half this country is not liking the current administration or any past administration. Very disappointed. So this is an opportunity for a guy like me. And believe me, I'm no politician. I guess I'll become one as I learn. But as of right now, I'm not. I don't consider myself one. I don't consider myself special. I just want to help and do my part. And if I don't make it, but one of my policies is so light that the person that does get in takes that and gets it approved, and think of all the people that, because of my work, get helped. And then, like I said, if it don't work for here and I get all the pardons I need, I'll run for local office. I think I could. I enjoy this stuff. I really do. It's fulfilling. You learn stuff. You interact with good people. You don't have to. Biggest mistake, a couple of mistakes I made is not all politicians are corrupt. There's a lot of good politicians. There's a lot of honest people. But the system is crooked. It's definitely crooked and corrupt. But it's not due to all the people that work in the Senate or the Congress or in public office. It's not. So I got to learn to choose my words better. And that's what I'm doing when you don't see me. Besides learning, I'm polishing up where I say the proper thing. Because I could say something and mean the right thing, but say it the wrong way, which could be damaging. Because a lot of people do that. A lot of people, they're trying to get their point across, and you understand what they're saying, but it still comes off like in a negative way. You're going to push the negative more than you are the positive. So let's say, finish this up. Ohio, I said, was 5,000. Pennsylvania, big state. That's a big state. You got Pennsylvania, vitally important. 5,000 signatures there. New Jersey, believe it or not, 800 signatures. I thought it was 2,000, because someone told me it was 2,000, but this is the latest list, 800. Bob Levy said, don't worry, he's got me in New Jersey. Well, Bob, I don't need 100, buddy, so I'll send you 1,000 in New Jersey forms when I get them. You should be able to do that. You got enough friends in Jersey. So if I get Bob Levy to help me with that, and I got Dr. Steve, and I do Florida, right off the bat, I'm going to have 3 states done, 3 important states. And I just got to get the volunteers out, because I'm not going to travel to every state. I'm not going to go to Hawaii. I'm not going to go to Alaska, but I got to get volunteers in those states to go out and get the signatures, honest people that are going to do it right, follow the laws, and then get those paperwork in a timely fashion into the election board to get counted properly, to see if we got all in a timely fashion. Because if we, let's see what Hawaii is or Alaska. Let's see. Where's Alaska in here? Alaska, you only get 3 electoral votes. It's not a big state. They only need 500 signatures. So, and it's not really a really big decided state. But 3 electoral votes is still 3 electoral votes. So I got to imagine there's got to be at least 10 people up there that can help me get, that will come on and volunteer there from Alaska. So I don't have to go up there, and that I could trust it. Because let's say they get 1,000 signatures. And all of a sudden they go through them and they're saying, you got 399 good ones. and you got 1 week left to get 101. You might be in trouble. But if you go out and you get 1,500 and you do it the right way, the first time they count it, say, you're in, 500, easy. You got 1,000 good ones here. You actually got 1,200 good ones here. You only need 500. If you do it right, and you do it in the time. See, they say the best way to work a campaign for the ballots is work backwards. Work from the time the deadline is to work backwards. You'll never get caught up in any problem. And I think that system works. So yeah, Hawaii, Alaska's 3, and Hawaii. Let's see what Hawaii is, because I don't see myself going there because I don't have the campaign funds to go there. So that's the big dogs that get the big money. I'm just a grassroots looking for small donations. Obama ran his campaign. He did a bunch of small donations. That's how he survived. He didn't have the big corporate money when he ran. He had a bunch of people that gave $5, $3, $10. He worked the people very good. And Obama was a great speaker. So, you know, and he just knew what to say. But he worked, and in Obama, he had a face you could trust. At least I thought he did. You know, he was very well spoken, and I liked him. I think he did a good job. A lot of people, you know, Trump, for whatever reason, didn't. You know, healthcare is a big issue in this country, and we have to get that right too. We have to, like I said, the bottom line is we've helped so many other countries and neglected so many people in America. It's not right. It's just not right. It's not right for anybody of you or anybody in your family to suffer because of the people we put in fail us. I don't care if you're not liked. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you are not liked. If you got someone that deserves, that's a veteran, that deserves to be treated with respect, but they're not getting no help, that's a problem to me. And if you are my worst enemy, you're going to become my best friend because I'm going to do everything to help your family member. And hopefully make peace with you. And I'm not doing it because I want to make peace with you. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. And unfortunately, in this world, in our life, there's a lot of, it's black and white, but there's a lot of gray areas that people neglect to understand. Those gray areas are the ones that get you in trouble. So Texas, again, I told you it was 40, 113,000 signatures. Texas is a big state and a very hard state. That's the Bush country up there. Arizona, they say Arizona, if you're not someone they know, they won't even let an independent in that state. You got no prayer in Arizona at all. And that's 11 electoral votes at 47. They said don't even try for Arizona. I mean, yeah, 11 electoral votes, but from what I understand, if you go out and get the signatures, they might not make it to the election board unless you make sure you deliver them yourself. That's what I was told. Even if you deliver them yourself, there's no guarantee that they're going to get counted. That's what I was told. Well, I guess basically they're saying that this is a good old boy state, cowboy state that only believe in their own, and outsiders are not welcome. So that's the way I'm taking that they're going to, a lot of shady stuff. But every election there is something shady. Miscount or missing votes. You know, that happens. I mean, look what Trump went through, what they did to him and what he accused, and then he had the federal agency go in Georgia and rob the warehouse of all the votes. You know, it's a lot of powerful people don't like to be messed with. But you know what I like to do? I like to mess with. And you know what? They're going to know Joseph Samuel Catalano soon. And they ain't going to like me, I know that much. But they ain't going to catch me with my pants down at my knees with anything they're going to find that's going to hurt me, because I'm told my whole life. And people will forgive me if my heart is pure. You do what's right and hope for the best. Washington, believe it or not, is that's Washington State, not Maryland, because the White House is Washington, and then Washington State is up west. There's 12 electoral votes. It's still a big number, but only 3,000. You get 3,000 signatures there. Minnesota, you need 5,000, 10 electoral votes. New Mexico's 1,000. There's a lot of thousands and a lot of 500s. But those little ones are going to add up. They add up to something. So it's important. I think every state's important, and especially for a guy that's doing grassroots. I think every little state you can get. And I think there's a lot of room to go to those little towns and connect with the people. Because all people want to do is be heard, and they want to see your heart. They want to know that you're really going to fight for them. Because there's a lot of people in fear. Like I said, women and children don't feel safe. And we got to protect them first and foremost. Like I said, what did I say earlier? Women and children are not negotiating. There's no negotiation when it comes to their safety. Zero. So it's kind of like zero tolerance with some of these companies that have zero drug policy, zero tolerance. That's how it's going to be for if I'm in office. Zero tolerance for anybody that's going to hurt children or women. Anyone. And I got news for the people that are in prison for life. You are not going to be getting nothing gravy anymore. If you're there for life because you did horrendous crimes to this country or to people, no, the luxury days are going to be over. The people that deserve the second chance will still do their time, but we'll better them by giving them a chance to graduate with some great diploma in areas of good working jobs that we get people to come on board and sponsor it and willing to train the people. Because there's a lot of jobs out there that pay good money. Someone told me the other day that some McDonald's are paying $26 an hour. And I forgot what area he said. It's a special training program they started, and you get $26 an hour at McDonald's. I don't know if he was telling the truth or if he was just dreaming that, but I got to do research. Anybody hear that? Has anybody heard that? There's a McDonald's paying $26. I don't know if I heard it from someone in the chat room, maybe. I don't know. I don't really have time to go in chat rooms that much, but so that's basically it, guys. I mean, this is the important thing. You gotta study it. You gotta know it. You gotta know where your big money is, and you gotta know your place. I'm not no politician. I'm not no rich Ivy League education person. I'm a grassroots guy who needs small donations, and it's running across the bottom of the ticker. I want to thank you for tonight. I will be back in a couple of days with some more, and let's hope that we're getting closer for us to have a relationship, all of us, again, and build some trust with us. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. God bless you. God bless your families. God bless America. I'm Joseph Samuel Catalano III, and I believe what I'm fighting for, and I believe in you. Everybody, thank you. Have a good night. And I'm going to play. Did you like the video I made with this one? I think it was pretty fun.
You know my heart is heavy, but my love is strong. Let me hold you in my arms all night long. Yeah, baby. I just want to love you.
By the way, that Stuttering John is a Clay Dabbler.
You know my heart
I
is
brought the
heavy,
Clay
but my love
dolls.
is strong. Let me hold you in my arms all night long. Yeah, baby. I just want to love you, keep you safe and warm. Forever.
This one.
You know my heart is heavy,
You guys, I don't know if you guys noticed.
But one man is ready to fix it.
They said no independent could ever fight back. No ordinary American.
Did you guys notice this one?
Thank you, my fellow Americans.
Look who's standing behind me
Joseph
at the
Samuel
podium.
Catalano III, and I'm running for president as an independent, because this country doesn't belong to the parties. It belongs to us.
I don't know how
We're
it's
going to bring
separated.
jobs
That
back,
picture
rebuild our
together
neighborhood.
and-
Thank you, my fellow Americans.
video.
I'm Joseph Samuel Catalano
left all the other
III,
Clay
and I'm running
figures
for
out.
president as an
John behind
independent,
the podium.
because this country doesn't belong
That
to the
was it. I had
parties.
nothing to
It
do with
belongs to us. We're going to bring